Hi, welcome to the Sports on Pulse. I'm Hans Mensah Ando. The various European leagues are just about rounding up, and in England, the final round of fixtures will be played over the weekend. But Manchester City have already wrapped up the title. They could be ending the season with a mammoth 100 points. Closely behind them, or rather far away behind them in terms of points, is Manchester United. They currently standing at 77 points, 20 points behind Manchester City. It tells you how good City have been this season. But United are in action later tonight against West Ham United away from home. Ahead of the game, Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho has questioned the mentality of his players, saying that if they were as mentally tough as he is, United would have won the title.
We are inconsistent, and we are inconsistent many times in our attitude. With our top 5 opponents, we didn't lose any points for them. Against City, we won, we lost. Against Spurs, we won, we lost. Against Chelsea, we won, we lost. Against Liverpool, we won, we drew. So we got 1 point from Liverpool. Against Arsenal, we won, and we still have 1 match to play. So we are not also going to lose. So we didn't lose points in the 2 duels against the direct opponents. But then we lost 3 points against teams that were promoted. We lost points against Huddersfield. We lost against Newcastle. We lost points against teams that probably are going to be relegated or are in this group of the relegation fight. So I think we were not consistent, and
classic Jose Mourinho there, taking no prisoners, laying it down just as he sees it. In the studio with me is Selwyn Saki. Now, Selwyn, first of all, let's analyze the rhetoric by Jose Mourinho, questioning his players' mindset as far as the season is concerned. Is it a truth?
Well, I'll look at it from his view, first of all. He's speaking about the inconsistency of his players. He being a serial manager, he can say that proudly because he's won trophies elsewhere, everywhere, and even in England, whereby his players, just a few of them have won Premier League, just some of them that have been under Sir Alex Ferguson. They've had problems, Manchester United, with David Moyes, Louis van Gaal coming in and all that, and gradually, he's the only manager that can say that he has given them trophies, or probably in the last time 5 years, Manchester United have never even played second position, and he's put him over there. So for he be a serial manager and the good work he's done, he can say that about the players. But let's look at it from the players' perspective. If they are playing on the field and they're not getting any motivation from their leader or somebody who's supposed to give them that drive to be keeping on winning games, they will definitely look to the bench and say, what's our manager doing for us? And Mourinho, we know that hasn't even given the players support. His main players like Pogba, that were given signed for a whole lot of money, they've not been able to get what they want from the manager. Martial hasn't got enough from him. Rashford, speaking of all these young guys, they need somebody to give them the motivation to push on like other managers have been doing for their young players.
Right now, if you look at the point gap between Manchester City and Manchester United, you might probably think that Mourinho is right to raise questions about the mentality of his team. Now, very often, players, like you said, look to their managers for inspiration. We know Mourinho to be somebody who is mentally tough. Is the current state of mind of his team a reflection of his own state of mind?
Well, obviously, if the players are showing this performance, it boils down that the manager, this is what you are given. Because if anything is supposed to happen to the club, they're not going to sack the players, they're going to sack the manager. So definitely, the results define the manager's mentality. Well,
and also, of course, the performance as well. He's coming to question the mentality of his team, his inability to work on the psyche of the team. He identified the problem because he's actually laying it down, he's mentioning it. His inability to work on that side of things. Can we adequately conclude then that he's failed, at least in that aspect.
Well, yeah, because it's bizarre for him to be winning games against the big sides. He mentioned a number of games that whereby he's won against City, lost, won and lost. But then when it comes to the newly promoted side, which is Brighton, Newcastle and Huddersfield, he's lost those games against them, and which is quite bizarre for us to think about, because these are newly promoted sides. They don't have experience like your players do have in the Premier League. So how are you losing to them? And it comes down to the manager's mentality, how he's be able to talk to his boys about complacency, because that could be a factor how they are going to lose against newly promoted side, because maybe the players will say, okay, these are new guys, we can just write about them and go. But then look at the surprise Huddersfield and Brighton have given them. It shows that the manager is not on top of his issues.
Well, United's main, contenders as far as this season is concerned was Manchester City. They have run away with the title I mentioned earlier. They could be rounding up the season with 100 points. 20 points between themselves and Manchester United. That certainly does strike a psychological blow.
Obviously, I mean, it's huge. For United, a big club, bigger than City when it comes to historical things in football. United is bigger than them. City at the moment winning the league, and 20 points gap against Manchester United is something that we shouldn't be thinking about. It's Manchester City, your rivals, Pep Guardiola, all these things come. There's so many subplots when it comes to United and City. For 20 points for City to be giving them is something that should never ever happen in United's history.
Right, thank you very much, Selwyn. And of course, the final round of matches is this weekend, but United are playing tonight before the weekend's round of matches. And Mourinho certainly would be looking ahead to next season. One of the things that he'll be looking to work on, of course, is not only the tactics, but also, like he's mentioned, the mentality or the psyche of his team. That's it for Sport on Pulse here.